This one's for you.
To withstand the heat.
Patched up, good to go.
request.
Huh? I remember posting a delivery order. Now once in my whole life. Oh. This is that shit I lost the other... Hang on a tick while I check. You found this? You seriously found this shit? I like you, dude. Like, maybe too much. And I'm not just saying that. But I bet I can like you even more. So, I'll toss you Cupid. This part of that trailblazing comms.
Now displaying your current order grade.
So, this is that chiral network folks are all raving about. I'm the Pioneer, by the way. Yeah, I travel the world like my father and his father and so on. Gotta say, I didn't think network stuff could hold a candle to roughing it in the real world. But, like, you could use this thing to research past events and whatnot, right? Maybe even the void owl that tore shit up around here back in the day. Oh, I shared one of my grandfather's favorite. Call it a thank you gift or whatever. It's a deployable shield. This isn't wind up in a firefight, and why not take it for a spin? I'm the third generation Pioneer, actually. It's my calling. I was born into it. My family's been traveling the world since my grandfather's time. Searching for stuff no one had ever seen before. But then, dramatic twist. Cause of the Death Strand. And then, another dramatic twist. The expansion of the chiral network across Australia has a chance of making a brand new plague gate appear. And if it does appear, we can travel to another continent. Meaning, this network might just allow me to carry on my family's globe-trotting legacy. Just want to say again that I appreciate you. Alright, back to it. Oh, I forgot to mention that I've got some cool shit here that I found, as well as a couple. So, come back again. Good luck with the delivery.
Stretch my legs. Thank God. Hey, man, this one's for you. Thanks for the help. Thank God.
appreciate the help. Thanks for the help.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will be assigned to another porter.
Okay, Sam. The facility we've identified is here. An abandoned factory south of the F5 East Distribution Center. There are operational fabricators inside. More than you had to deal with for the previous order, in fact. And to make matters worse, it seems these ones are configured to produce ghost mechs. Higgs is likely pulling the strings at this factory too. So with that in mind, your main objective is as follows. Eliminate both the ghost mech In addition, each fabricator contains... By analyzing it, we hope to gain insight into... Tarman will give you the device you'll need to extract the data. For now, consider...
Sam, you'll need to take this ring terminal expansion device with... Make sure it's in your possession whenever you attempt to access... If you haven't... Once you've disabled all fabric, we'll handle the analysis on our end like last time. Remember that it contains special components that can't be reproduced by printers. Take every precaution to ensure you don't break it.
like something seriously big is waiting for us. Stay on your guard and proceed with caution. Now. They build ghost mechs in this facility. Jack, the ghost mech fabricators appear to have been activated. This is very bad very quickly. We need to destroy them as soon as possible. Okay, one less fabricator to worry about. We've secured its data too. There should be 3 fabricators remaining. To keep the ring terminal expansion device safe, proceed to the next one. Only 2 more fabricators left to disable. Let's move.
failed.
Now leaving chiral network coverage.
Sam, I've got a bad feeling about this. Like something seriously big is waiting for us. Stay on your guard and proceed with caution. I see now. They build ghost mechs in this facility. Sam, ghost mech fabricators appear to have been activated. This could get very bad very quickly. We need to destroy them as soon as possible. One less fabricator to worry about. And we've secured its data too. There should be 3 fabricators remaining. Keep the ring terminal expansion device safe and proceed to the next one. fabricators left to disable. Let's move. One more fabricator to go. Extracted invaluable data as well. We just need to mop up the remaining ghost necks. terminal expansion device has had it. We failed the order. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like something seriously big is waiting for us. Stay on your guard and proceed with caution. Sam, the ghost mech fabricators appear to have been activated. This could get very bad very quickly. We need to destroy them as soon as possible. fabricator to worry about, and we've secured its data too. There should be 3 fabricators remaining. Keep the ring terminal expansion device safe and proceed to the next one. Works. Only 2 more fabricators left to disable. Let's move. We're almost there. Just 1 more fabricator to go. Is that the last of them? Right. All ghost mechs have been eliminated. Now, to deal with the fabricators. Use your ring terminal expansion device to hack into the fabricator terminals. All ghost mechs and fabricators have been destroyed. All that remains is to take the ring terminal expansion device with the extracted data back to the DHV Magellan for processing.
It's good to have you back, Sam. Now, let's take a look at the cargo you've... No problems with this cargo. Tarman's analysis should proceed without issue. Thanks, Sam.
Now displaying your current order grade.
Our analysis of the data you extracted for us has yielded detailed records of deliveries to the factory. It seems both the materials used to manufacture those ghost mechs and the routes used to transport said materials were the same as those utilized by APAC. This indicates that APAC was likely involved in the production of these mechs.
Wait, could this possibly mean that Higgs and APAC are working together? We should watch what we say around the President.
We'll need to proceed carefully with our investigation. If APAC and the President did indeed have a hand in these activities, the security of our operations is entirely compromised. One more thing, Sam. Some of the data we received concerned ghost mechs outfitted with rocket launchers. I realize you didn't encounter this type within the factory, but it's possible Higgs may have already deployed them elsewhere. We need to prepare countermeasures for the DHV Magellan with all due haste. There's a specialist who can help us in South Fort Knott, just beyond this mountain. Putting F6 on the grid is one of our objectives anyway. For now, we'll make preparations in an effort to secure his cooperation. You should head to your private room and try to get some rest before your next order is ready. And Sam, good work.
You slept well, yes? And you'll only need a short break before we can... Sam, been a while since you had a... About that ghost mech we saw carrying what appeared to be a coffin on its back. I wonder if that coffin was somehow connected to the beach. I distinctly felt the presence of the dead from within its armor. If you could deal a blow powerful enough to bypass its defenses, it might be enough to stop it in its tracks. Failing that, you could always concentrate your attacks on a single location on its body. I don't really Oh boy. Sam, all this relaxed.
Oh, hey there, Sam. Now, your next main order is ready and waiting. But I should mention there's some... For one, the cargo container will start leaking top. This run is going to involve a hard trek up some snowy... So make sure you're well and true. Now, the adventurer you're delivering to travels the continent to try and solve the mystery. Gotta respect a man putting in that. The cargo you'll be taking him is related to... I'd appreciate it if you helped out, not just... Don't let us down.
This the contain.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Do you have a moment, Sam? I was wondering if you'd noticed Hartman doing anything strange lately. Sending odd mails, sleepwalking. You know I'm not the kind of person who enjoys spying on her colleagues. But when I finally decided to check the surveillance cameras, there he was, wandering around at night. If you see anything out of the ordinary, don't hesitate to contact me.
just a bit further now.
Hey! Can anybody hear me? Anybody out there?
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility ground.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. You've brought something for my father, right? Sorry, I'm afraid. Can't say I know what value this cargo has, but I can assess its condition in it. There don't appear to be any major issues with the cargo. My father will be relieved.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Thanks again for the delivery. You came to connect us to the chiral network too. I'm sorry, but I'm not. And right now there's no... He was coming home from a long trip up north and got as far as the snowy mountains nearby, but then we lost contact. I was actually hoping someone could... I'm certain he's still alive, and since no, I hope you'll let...
Sounds like we've got an emergency on our hands. You connect.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Feels good.
So the adventurer was in this area when he last made contact with his son. See any sign of him, Sam?
My name's Sam!
here, Sam.
Gotta stretch my legs.
What a relief. He's still breathing. You can put him in a protective bag and carry him home. You know, he looks familiar somehow. Didn't we save this man once before? Right then. Let's hurry and take him to his shelter.
What is detected? Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
was right to trust you. Thank you for finding him. He's all right. A little roughed up, but he'll recover with some bed rest. You've been a true friend to my father. My father said it's okay, so...
Now displaying your current order grade.
Connection confirmed. Seems to be working fine. I'll have my father take a look at the cargo, but knowing him, he might vanish the moment I turn around. People have given him a nickname, the Adventurer. He takes it a bit too far sometimes. Anyway, as my way of saying thanks for tracking him down, I've shared a schematic for climbing power gloves with you. They can help you climb steep slopes and grab cargo more easily. Try them on for size. Thank you. Good luck, and...
Much appreciate. You should get plenty of rest. Frostbite can be serious. We have to make sure you're not showing signs. Another thing, we need to talk about how... Come and see me when you...
Please come again.
Nice repair job. She's practically sparkling.
Sorry. Hey, Sam. Long time no see. It's me, your old pal, Dead Man.
Dead man.
Sorry if I gave you a scare. While Hartman is off conducting his near-death excursions, I am borrowing his body. My soul is normally confined to the beach, but for 3 minutes, I get to be here.
How's that possible?
Because he has my heart.
You're telling me that's...
My parting gift to Hartman, yes. Per his request, I bequeathed it before departing on my one-way trip to the beach. He put so much stress on his own that it had grown quite weak. If and when it failed, mine was meant to serve as insurance. But as you can see, he appears to have become rather attached to my heart. His finger never far from the proverbial on switch. Which is why I've been able to assume control of his body. Come here. It's good to see you, Sam. I told you in Mexico that someone had falsified BB-28's records. But in truth, it was yours truly. My intention was to leave no trace of a second BB-28 or of Lou. I wanted you to be free to live your lives, unburdened by the past. But then, well, everything changed, didn't it? You lost Lou, and needed answers to make sense of it all.
30 seconds remaining.
So, I decided to access the network servers from within the beach. Security isn't as strict over there as it is here, you see.
So that was you?
That's right. I am the one who dug up the information about Lou's past. Your very own Hartman was me all along.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
Sam. What's going on? And where are we?
Sam. Poor Hartman here is understandably confused. If you give us a moment alone, I'll explain things to him.
Okay.
Well, I've apprised Hartman of the situation. It's not unlike my own experience. A soul finds itself in a puppet and then acts as a puppeteer. One's ka can reside in any vessel to which one has a strong attachment. Human ha or inanimate object. It makes no difference.
Sam, it's Charlie. We've received an emergency distress call from the Eastern Environmental Observatory. I urge you to access the Adventurer's delivery terminal and pick up this main order immediately.
It goes without saying, but I was not born into this world with this doll as my ha. Would you like to hear how I came to be in this condition? darling wife was working as a nurse in an isolation ward. A luckless place which one day found itself in the path of a tar tsunami, a freak occurrence triggered by an ill-timed gatequake. Not a single person survived. No patients, no doctors, no wife. We just have to be careful. Hold on. Access to the site had been restricted, but we weren't about to let that stop us. It was my daughter's idea. She was desperate to see her mother again. Be careful. Take off your horn. Okay, hold my hand.
Mommy?
It's me, honey. It's me. In the end, it wasn't even her daughter that she remembered. Before we knew it, we were swallowed by the tar, battered against the rocks, and eventually coughed back up into this world. Wait! Don't go! Down here, please!
Hello, little one. You cold? Let me guess. The car of that poor girl over there?
Oh, my daughter's car is long gone. I'm afraid it's just me now. She died, but for whatever reason, her soul was unable to move on because it ended up here in her doll, stuck somehow. My baby girl would have been left here all on her own. So I liberated her, forced her car out with one solid push. And she was free at last. Free to leave this world and go to where the dead belong. Just as I would have done, had I not gotten stuck myself.
I see. That's quite a story. Believe it or not, I've been looking all over for you, Mr. Spirit Medium.
As you can see, I'm of no use to anyone. I can't go anywhere. I'll be stuck here for the rest of eternity, that's that.
Want to come work for me instead? Yoha's no good to you now.
Huh. It didn't last long out of the tar. Poor old thing turned into a bog body in no time at all. You think you could bury them for me?
They call me fragile. What do they call you? The taller man, maybe? No. Dolman suits you better.
If Fragile hadn't come looking for me, I'd almost certainly still be lying in that dreadful tar bog.
But your soul's trapped in that doll forever?
Perhaps. But if I could break free from this thing, maybe then I can be reunited with my daughter. When that happy day might come, I cannot say. I did what any father would do. I pushed my daughter's car out of this doll. And she was free at last. Free to leave this world and go to where the dead belong. Thank you for listening to my story, Sam. But enough about me. It's time I let you focus on your job. As I mentioned before, I lost my wife to a tar tsunami. And after she died, she turned into a gazer. My daughter was unable to accept her mother's passing. She pleaded with me to see her again. As a medium, I thought it was within my power to grant her wish, so I gave in and took her to the hospital where her mother had died. It was the worst mistake. I thought it was the right thing to do, taking my daughter to be reunited with her mother. And when we arrived, we played her favorite song, hoping for a reaction. But it was too late. She had no memories of our time together as a family. She was no different from, to be honest. I already knew that. My daughter's heart was swallowed up by the tar soon after, as was mine. And eventually, my car became stuck inside my daughter's doll. A prison very much of my own making. I couldn't tell you how long I lay there, until finally, looking for fellow doomed sufferers to recruit to her cause, I wouldn't be here. I dare say tomorrow may have mastered her unique abilities. She can complete the apple aging exercise flawlessly and with remarkable consistency. It's been a boon for her confidence, and I am ever... Why don't you try That's a groovy pair of specs, Sam. No matter what misfortune may befall him, that adventurer is going to keep exploring. Is it the primal calling that compels him to make these... Or perhaps he's become addicted to the thrills that... Regardless of his motivation, when I see how distressed his son is, I want to do what I can to get him home safe. I don't really... Sam, I think all this Sam, aren't you feeling eager to begin your next... Sam,
Nice.
Order accepted. Thank you.
for this moment, but I always knew you'd come my way. Go ahead and use your Cupid to get me online.
Now displaying your current order grade.
All right. Good. Which means I can finally start fixing up this observatory. In case you haven't heard, we've been seeing an increase in chiral density in every region as the network has expanded. More instances of strange phenomena outside network coverage, too. And I've been told this is indicative of plate gate emergence. You know, after being alone all this time, I wasn't sure I'd be able to stay the course. Till you arrived with that life-saving cargo. Should be all set to hold down the fort now. Not exactly a one-man job, but I'll do my team proud. Oh, I've shared schematics for an oxygen mask with you. I'll help you stay active in areas where the air... Personally, I'd recommend you wear one at all times when you're in my neck of the woods. Mother Nature won't show you any mercy around these parts. The biting cold and steep slopes will slow you down. Or now would be a good time to make sure that you're fully prepared for the journey ahead. By the way, the aeronautical engineer who lives northwest of here just posted a suborder for... Seems something at the Ghost Mech factory's got him all hot and bothered. Help him out and he might hook you up with some... In any case, I hope you'll come visit me here again sometime. I understand it's a lot to ask folks to make the trip on a regular basis. But that's why I'm hoping I can offer you stuff that'll be of use in hazardous conditions like these. Keep on keeping on, man. And thanks again for all your help.
This is the President, Sam. Chiral network coverage has just passed the 75% milestone here in Australia. The next leg of your journey will take you to the southern part of the continent. Once the remaining regions have been integrated into the network, the manifestation of a new plate gate is all but guaranteed. Marshal your strength to overcome the final hurdles and make this continent whole again. We're all counting on you.
Sam, Rainey's not doing so great. It might be more of a mental than a physical issue, but I'm honestly not sure. Do you remember the doctor from the Motherhood? We think she should be able to help ease Rainey's anxieties. It was Tommen's idea. We already reached out, and she said we could come visit anytime. Since the Motherhood's within the Chiron network, we can use the Magellan to travel there. Once you've made it back to the ship, just head to your private room and settle in. You can use the trip to catch up on sleep. But if there's anything you need to take care of before we depart, now would be the time to do so.
Sam, I'm contacting you via a different protocol. This private mode affords me a direct connection to you alone. It seems Drawbridge has reason to suspect that APAC may have been involved in the production of ghost mechs. This possibility concerned me as well, so I conducted my own investigation and reaffirmed that APAC's underlying technologies are iterations of an older Bridges framework. What I'm getting at, Sam, is that the guilty party is not APAC, but Bridges. Which is to say, the UCA may also have some involvement with ghost mech production. This would perhaps explain why firearms and other weapons have become commonplace on the Australian continent. The UCA's precursor, the United States of America, had a prominent gun culture. Though Americans first took up arms to liberate themselves from British colonial rule, they retained the right to bear arms so that they might defend themselves against future government tyranny. APAC has no such designs, of course, but Higgs has used factories to obtain weapons in an attempt to subjugate the continent through violent action. And so, the people of Australia have, in response, been forced to take up arms in self-defense. A distinctly American philosophy, and one which would appear to have spread to this continent. The more we seek to unite the people with metaphorical ropes, the more essential sticks seem to become. This particular situation is one that I feared might come to pass, which is precisely why I determined that it must not be the UCA, but a civilian organization which takes the lead in expanding chiral infrastructure. But if the UCA is indeed somehow implicated in these events, it may dramatically alter the calculus. I realize it must be vexing not knowing what to believe, Sam. Should I learn more, I'll contact you at once. For my part, I have a favor to ask. I must insist you not disclose that we've been in direct contact. There's no telling who may be involved with what at this stage.
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Very impressive work, Sam. Please take measures to withstand the cold.
Sam. What do you say we head out and get to... Snow. Huh.
Close your eyes. It's okay. You can trust me. It's a healthy baby girl. She's beautiful. She certainly is. Okay, coming up on 3 minutes. Someone needs to go home.
Waves?
Yes, they are. Your room is connected to a beach. Now, open your eyes. Rainey, the child you're carrying is not dead. It's just that time has stopped in your womb. Your daughter and her mother are in perfect health.
But there's still no treatment, is there?
When the balance between our world and the beach is finally restored, you will give birth. There's nothing to worry about. Come on. All in due time. So wait and have faith that you and your child will be fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What about you?
Someday I'll have a son, but until then I get to see him once a month. It'll all work out.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Sorry, but would it be all right if I took another look at your pod?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, I'll head back first.
The thing is, when I did my examination on your pod, I got the strangest feeling. The BB in that pod was there far longer than any typical BB. I'd like to check your pod's production number. If it's an official model, it'll have one inscribed on it.
I can tell you right now, there's no number written on it.
No, it wouldn't be on the outside. It would be inscribed on the inner wall. Now, you can't open a pod without endangering the BB's life, but there is a way that we can peek inside. See? Right there. See, a pod's production number is a record of when the occupant was transferred from the still mother's womb. Sort of like a BB's date of birth.
Impossible. 11 years ago. On the very same day as the Void Out.
Lou's date of birth was 11 years ago.
And not just that, the serial number is BB00, which would make Lou one of the first test subjects.
Yeah, that would appear to be the case, yes.
If we scour the archives for any mention of BB00, there's a chance we might learn more about Lou's past.
You really should try and put this behind you. And digging up the past won't help.
I think it's time we return to the DHV Magellan. You know, Sam, seeing as you've come so very far, you should take a moment to see to any unfinished business before you commit to new obligations.
Feels good.
In the place where I came from, no one gave birth to babies. They just stayed inside their mother's bellies.
Well, in our world, babies are born and grow up to be adults. Or at least they're supposed to.
It's only natural that Tamara wouldn't understand. After all, she was living in a realm of the dead. I wouldn't expect children to be born into such a place.
But Rainey's baby will be born, right?
In due time, of course. Isn't that so?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Raindrops are falling on my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling.
So I just did me some talking to the sun.
Oh, that was terrible.
I thought it was pretty good, actually.
So you'll be a mother who gives birth to her baby.
Mm-hmm. And I just can't wait.
Talk about terrible, Sam. I've heard dogs with better tones.
Hi, Sam. Tarman here. I'm pleased Rainey's feeling better. And now that that's settled, we're all set to continue linking up the continent. Your next main order requires you to retrieve some intriguing cargo. And for convenience's sake, we've decided to transport you to the mission area in the Magellan. Speaking of the Magellan, I think it's high time this old girl's weaponry got a bit of an upgrade. I've gotten in touch with a researcher based in South Fort Knott for this very purpose. I'll need your help, of course, but the details can wait until we get there. I'm sure you're eager to get underway, but the tar currents nearby have grown unstable. It's going to be a bumpy ride. As a safety precaution, I'd like everyone to assemble on the bridge before departure. Come and join us as soon as you're ready.
So, operations at the Eastern Environmental Observatory, all alone in the mountains. To survive in such extreme hope is an not to downplay the benefits of the cargo you brought, but the truth of the matter is, but what no doubt served to give him immediate comfort was the presence of a health. Porters can be bearers of light for those struggling in darkness.
Just a little more work, and we'll have linked up the whole continent.
Allow me to re-establish our connection with the network.
And we're off! Crazy! I've lost track of my hand. It's gone.
Are we caught in a surge?
I don't know. There shouldn't be any other currents in our vicinity.
Unidentified object approaching.
Everyone brace for impact. What's wrong?
The rudder's unresponsive.
I think something's dragging us.
The connection to my hand has been severed somehow. Right now, I'm flying blind.
Gilman, do you sense anything?
No, it's not a BT.
Well, something's still pulling us down.
Much deeper, and the ship's hull won't be able to handle the pressure.
Evasive action!
Out of the way, Kitty!
It's no good. Can't break free.
Discharge tar ballast. Rapid ascent, now!
Too risky. We have no idea where we're going to surface.
We have no choice. Open blast shields.
If we don't do something, it'll crush us.
Hold it! I'm hardly a repatriate, but I'm immortal enough. Damn. When'd you start rolling with such a big crew, Sam? Settle. Unless you want me to blow her head off. Well. You roll back the clock and that old time fall soaked hide of yours, huh? You know I'm only here to get revenge on you and Sam. The rest of y'all really have no quarrel with, so, you let me keep the two of them and y'all can fuck off. No? All want to die together. Except for the fact Sam's a repatriate, so can't really share in your sad fate. But before I pop him, he gets to watch me kill all y'all.
What the fuck? A ghost mech? So he's... what, Mecha Higgs?
Sir, this is fine. But I don't break that easy. Alright. So be it. So be that way. Y'all can all go down with the ship.
It's all up to you, Sam.
No time to waste. Let's head out, Sam.
Sam, it looks like that thing coiled around the Magellan is some sort of giant... You're our only hope of freeing the ship from its grasp. If you can get it to let go and draw it away from us, we should be able to... We're counting on you.
a moment to get it up and running.
Just like that, Sam.
Opening fire now.
Oh boy, that must hurt.
Opening fire now.
hear me? Wake up!
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Great job, Sam. The only reason we're still alive is because you were here to save us. Come back to the ship. You've earned yourself a rest. Good morning, Sam. I understand that your room didn't suffer any major damage. Unfortunately, the rest of the D2 Magellan wasn't so lucky. The ship is unable to travel in its current state, but Tomlin's doing his best to get us back in action. I'm about to leave to pick up some supplies for repairs. When you're ready to head out, I suggest you head to the bridge and get Tarman to brief you on the situation. Afterwards, check the ship's delivery terminal to find out which part of the continent you'll need to link up next. The show must go on after all.
The entire crew is working hard to get the ship in working, so let's follow their lead and do what we have to.
So, how's everything looking? We'll be able to repair the plating and the propulsion system using chiral printed parts. Fragile's team will pick up any additional materials that are necessary. The nav console I use to read the tar currents isn't broken. I just need a little more time to restore the connection with my hand. Won't be much longer now.
Tarman.
He came to visit me in my room.
Thank you. Oh, I see you're holding hands now, eh? Hands allow us to connect. Form bonds.
You think you'll ever find your missing hand?
Now that's a bond I doubt will ever be broken.
Looks like we're good to go.
We'll see you later.
Stay safe out there.
Are you excited to head out? So excited. She's here. Oh, there's Fragile. Okay. Let's get going.
Hey, be safe out there.
Remember, you're talking to the former head of Fragile Express.
You two be alright?
We all have dooms. No need to worry about us. And we're tougher than you too.
Right. So watch yourself out there.
Take care of each other.
Sam, although everyone's hard at work repairing the DHV Magellan, it will unfortunately be some time before we can travel again. But nevertheless, putting our plans on hold is out of the question. We must continue to press on. Extending the chiral network remains our priority. Your next objective is to link up South Fort Knot. Though you'll need to get another site online before that will be possible. And unlike before, the DHV Magellan will be unable to advance to your position after you've expanded coverage. And during this period, you'll need to operate without our support. Fragile, Rainy, and Tomorrow are gone procuring materials for repairs. And Tarman has his hands full. He'd also like to improve the ship's arm and bringing South Fort Knot into the chiral. I say this to reassure you that the whole team is committed to getting the ship back up and running. It's just going to take us a little. For now, head to the Phantom Smith shelter and put him on the grid. The associated main order can be accessed via this delivery terminal.
emerge from the car? Heads up, Sam! Well done, Sam. That's the last of the cargo. Let's head to our destination and make the delivery.
Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. Hope.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Assets are delivered.
Hey, thanks. Risking your life to cross snowy mountains is a lot to ask of anyone. And rubbing shoulders with BTs to recover someone else's stuff, that's going above and beyond. You're one hell of a guy, seriously. Sit tight. I'll confirm the contents of your cargo right away. Some of the finest looking cargo I've ever seen. I'm happy. Happy-pappy. There's no denying you. I'd like you to put this shelter...
Now displaying your current order grade.
And now I'm finally online. Accordingly, I was able to analyze the cargo you just dropped off. Seems it was developed with the aid of an unknown technology, which I've taken to call. From what I can tell, it reacts to chiral radiation on a specific wavelength. The reason I mention it is because the chiral shock cannon data I shared with you is the product of research that leveraged. The chiral radiation it generates can pass through. Practically speaking, this means you can incapacitate enemies hiding behind walls. It should also deal damage to BTs and mechs as well. It's pretty powerful as far as range. You can't use it without anchoring it to the ground first, though. Gotta think before you fire. You know, even I've heard stories about Higgs and his plans. So if the chiral shock cannon helps you stop him, that'll make my day. And if you can deliver my research data to South Fort Knot, you should be able to get some new and improved tech to help you out. There's a lot of other folks on this mountain doing specialized research. If you bring them onto the chiral network too, I'm sure they'll hook you up with all kinds of goodies. Thanks again, you've been a big... I'm still concerned about the armed survivalists to the south of you. So I'll be rooting for you to keep up. I don't know if I can come up with anything else to help with that, but your support would be Anyway, I'm prepping some cargo I'd like. Be warned that this cargo can explode. So good luck with everything.
Sam, apologies for the sudden call. Once again, I'm contacting you via our dedicated private line. No one else will be able to listen in on our conversation. I'll get to the point. Has Charlie ever behaved in a manner you felt was suspicious? I ask because his credibility, as routinely calculated by APAS, appears to have dropped sharply. Despite attempting to confirm his credentials via the UCA's National ID Registry, it does not appear anyone has ever actually met the man. It may well be the case that he does not even exist. A ghost, so to speak. I can only hope that my suspicions are unfounded. For now, Sam, proceed to South Fort Knot and put it on the chiral network as planned. It is imperative that we improve the DHV Magellan's capabilities to better contend with Higgs and his forces. And the sooner we connect all of Australia to the network, the better. When you are ready to proceed, you can pick up your next main order from the delivery terminal at this facility.
Unable to obtain additional data from the... Updating information with data from within chiral network coverage only.
materials notwithstanding, I see you got here in a timely fashion. At one moment, while I confirm the cargo's condition. Marvelous. This is an absolutely impeccable condition. I'm on the cusp of a breakthrough, thanks to you. Let's both continue to give it our all. Go ahead and connect your Cupid.
Now displaying your current order grade.
On the network at last, eh? I've been waiting for this moment for so very long. This should enable me to increase the pace of my research into new defensive solutions. As for the cargo you brought me, it's the culmination of the Phantom Smith's recent efforts. I applied a few finishing touches, and voila! I can now share with you the data for a chiral cannon. It is a devastatingly powerful weapon that can be mounted onto pickup off-roaders. You'll find it deals unparalleled damage to BTs as well as ghost mechs. Which might come in handy, since it's not just armed survivalists that have been sighted recently. It's ghost mechs too. It's hard to say, but Higgs might be up to something. So that's all the more reason to have weapons suited to dealing with his minions. Ideally, this cannon would only be effective against BTs and mechs. Unfortunately, though, such firepower is more than enough to kill any human outright, so please use it wisely. In addition, I'm happy to share some new pickup off-roader tires that will significantly improve its traction. You can swap them in and out as you like when customizing your vehicles. I highly recommend using these if you're planning to tackle a snow-covered mountain. Thank you again for your help. I'll be sure to continue my research into I intend to look into ways of ensuring we have greater freedom of movement with our vehicles, even in dangerous areas. Any assistance you can provide would be greatly appreciated. Oh, before you go, I have a gift I was instructed to. This cargo will allow you to enhance the DHV Magellan's weaponry. Per Tarman, I'll need some time to prepare it for transport, though. In the meantime, please avail yourself. I'll be sure to post the order by the time you wake.
Sam, it's me. Our enemies have grown bolder and more aggressive, but I see you were all able to fend them off in the end. Chiral network coverage now stands in excess of 85% across Australia. We are already seeing indications of plate gate formation in the near future as well. Just a bit more, Sam. I know you and your comrades will finish what we've started, and to prepare for what's to come. I encourage you to rest in your private room.
Be advised, Sam, that I've switched this call to private mode. We need to talk about Charlie. I reviewed the contract between APAC and Drawbridge and followed the money. By doing so, I was able to confirm that funding for Drawbridge was provided by none other than Bridges. Though they used intermediaries to obfuscate the transactions, Bridget is undoubtedly the source of your patrons' funds. In other words, Drawbridge cannot be considered as an independent civilian organization. Should these details come to light, Your attempts to integrate Mexico and Australia into the chiral network could be misconstrued as an expansionist effort. When I tasked Drawbridge with these missions, it was under the assumption that it was a non-government operation. But I, APAC, and you yourselves may have all been deceived. I will continue to pursue this investigation for now. Take this time to rest and recover in your private room.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
Just like old times.
Where are we?
This place does wonders for my mood. The repairs to the DHV Magellan are still ongoing, so I thought to return here and see if I couldn't make progress with our Lou investigation.
Learn anything new?
Well, at the Motherhood's facility, we managed to confirm that Lou's original serial number was none other than BB00. And this is what I found when I attempted to search for associated records. To build the chiral network, 9 sacrificial BBs were prepared. However, the network's original design required only 1. A single sacrificial BB unit, facilitating chiral communications across the entire North American continent. This approach called for what was dubbed a core bridge baby, and BB00 was a lucky candidate assigned to play this role. However, Bridges subsequently abandoned the idea, their tests having failed to yield the desired results. And so it was that the model requiring multiple sacrificial BBs was ultimately adopted.
Meanwhile, Lou was placed into storage for an extended period, and for reasons yet unknown, inherited the identity of BB-28.
Records indicate that the Bridges research team was responsible for the reclassification.
Were they trying to cover up the earlier experiments by falsifying Lou's production year, perhaps? Or did Bridges have some other hidden agenda?
I'm afraid that remains unclear.
Well, we now know Lou was born 11 years ago. There may very well have been a connection with Neil.
You know, my fondness for this place isn't wholly nostalgic. It has the most delightful hot springs, you see. Though, truth be told, even they aren't my favorite thing about it. If you can find the time, you should come visit. Give the old bones a soak.
Oh, a warm bath does sound good.
Perfect treat for a weary traveler. Anyway, I'll see you aboard the Magellan.
Do you read me, Sam? This is Tarman. I've relocated my hand at last, out there on the currents. bobbing along like before. Now that our connection has been re-established, I should finally be in a position to wrap up repairs on the ship. But that won't be enough for what's coming. We need to improve our weaponry as well. South Fort Knot is home to an exceptional researcher. It so happens that they were instrumental in the construction of this fine vessel, and they're preparing the latest and greatest weapons for our use as we speak. Just a few more hurdles, Sam. Access the South Fort Knot delivery terminal and take care of the main order for